Get $0 copays on hundreds of prescriptions. You'll find that some plans give you almost $175 back in your Social Security check each month. Plus, you may get an allowance of up to $4,000 a year for dental care with no copays or coinsurance for covered services like crowns and dentures. And some plans let you see any doctor in the country, including specialists, without a referral. So talk with a local Humana sales agent today, and they'll help you find the right plan right where you live. Humana, a more human way to healthcare.
Every minute of every day, Faith Farm Ministries is committed to saving the lives of those suffering from addiction, offering a free residential recovery program at 3 South Florida locations. What's behind their success? You are. Support Faith Farm by shopping and saving at our premier thrift stores, where you'll find quality furniture, clothing, and unique treasures with everyday unbeatable prices. Visit any of our thrift store locations or see us online at faithfarm.org.
Green and Finer.
Don't settle for the insurance company's lowball offer. Call Steiger Green and Finer.
Steiger Green and Finer won my case and got me a great settlement, and now I can live my dreams.
Find out how you can see this year's Grand Marshals up close at winterfestparade.com. Now at 10. A man swimming near a popular pier on South Beach now missing. She's accused of politics, ordering crews not to help certain Hurricane Milton survivors. A presidential-elect pick for the person in charge of borders and deportations, and that's not all. Classes canceled at historically black college university. The campus in mourning following a deadly shooting during a homecoming weekend. The Princess of Wales making a royal return and attending her first ceremonial event since a cancer diagnosis. And South Florida is remembering Veterans Day.
All right, good morning, South Florida. We are so glad to have you with us. I'm Tavares Jones.
I'm Olivia Deventi, and for Alex DiArmas, Today in Florida at 10 starts now.
This is 7 News Today in Florida.
And we start out with a live, beautiful view of Fort Lauderdale Beach on this Monday morning, November 11th. It is Veterans Day.
Yes, thank you to all of our veterans. Meteorologist Erica Delgado is live in the Plex with your first forecast. Erica, how is it out there?
Hey, Olivia, so far so good. Mostly quiet, especially across our mainland areas, and all of that moisture that was over us yesterday associated with a weak wave now drifting farther west. For South Florida, just a few showers will be possible, but really not expecting a whole lot of rainfall. Here's a quick check on those temperatures. 82 right now in Fort Lauderdale and in Pompano Beach as we work our way into Miami-Dade, just a little warmer. Temperatures already sitting at 84 for Hialeah, Miami and Kendall. Lower 80s down into Homestead. As we work our way into the Florida Keys, we're seeing some pockets of upper 70s, specifically near Isla Mirada. 81 right now, Marathon and Layton Key. 83 from Key Largo into Key West. Lighter winds across South Florida, so not as breezy. Winds right now are out of the east, anywhere between 5 to 10 miles per hour. And while most of our mainland areas are enjoying some quiet conditions as far as rain, we are seeing a few spotty showers across portions of the Florida Keys, a lot more right now across the Florida Straits. So we'll leave that chance in the forecast, and not just for the Florida Keys, but we'll leave a chance for the rest of South Florida as well. Isolated shower chances with temperatures above average. We're back into the mid 80s once again. A closer look at your forecast and tropics. There's something we're watching. That's coming up in 15 minutes.
And now at 10, a desperate search at sea days after a man goes missing in the waters of South Beach. He was in the water with a friend when they both started struggling to swim.
His friend was saved by a Good Samaritan, but he was not so lucky. 7's Theo Garcia on Miami Beach, where he was last seen.
A dangerous start to the holiday weekend. Strong rip currents spotted in Miami Beach Sunday, a day after a swimmer went missing around the South Point Beach area. Police now calling it an active missing person investigation. It began Saturday night around 6 p.m. Marcus Pearson, who works in the area, says a group of young people struggling in the water were asking for help.
At that time, I saw like 5 or 6 of them coming out the water, and one of them was holding one of the gentlemen, assisting him out the water. As soon as he got to the shoreline, he kind of collapsed. I guess he was just so tired. So there was a young lady that was part of the group, and she was screaming, "Where's my brother? Where's my brother?"
Police were called and Pearson led them to the area where a man described to be in his 20s went missing. Authorities stopped searching around 9 o'clock.
The family were all there. I stayed behind with them till about 10 o'clock looking at the shoreline to see if it would wash up. And no, unfortunately, it didn't happen. So it's a tragedy.
Sunday morning, rescue teams searched again to no avail. Pearson says...
But it's like he's trying to run a one-man band out there. Behind his seat. And leave a comment below. This is a make or break season. He's got to make an impact. Good morning to all you guys out there across YouTube. It is Monday the 11th, moving through November, obviously getting closer and closer to Thanksgiving, all the holidays. I want to appreciate everybody coming into the live stream this morning. We had a lot of things going on, some technical difficulties with YouTube, things connecting here on the channel, making sure that YouTube is showing it, make sure it's expanding across the networks and the internet malfunctions. We had some issues there, but we're working on fixing that right now. We want to dive into it today, this morning. Trump starts to make huge announcements, and people have to understand what's going on. We're going to dive into a lot of conversation. Obviously, as we get started with today's show, it is Monday, and people are just shaking the cobwebs, letting people start to get into the live stream. What I want to start the conversation off with today was America, obviously the landslide victory, but was America surprised? Did Trump surprise America with the landslide victory? Literally, the entire nation was basically red. We're going to start with that. When you have these two candidates up there, the first thing I want to get into is he surprised the world with this landslide victory that a lot of people said, holy shit, how the hell did he pull that off? And people were confused at first. And I think what's going on is all the Republicans obviously were excited about it. And the Democrats were like, they don't believe it. Like, what's going on? I think the Republicans were extremely excited about it, very happy about the situation. But the landslide victory surprised a lot of people. I actually think it even kind of surprised Donald Trump. Even toward the end here, he even took Arizona, took Nevada, sweeping the top, Michigan, Wisconsin. He took North Carolina. Then he got Pennsylvania, obviously, and Georgia, the swing states, and he took North Carolina. And that was like, whoa, was not expecting that, right? So the first things first, he steps up, he sweeps the entire election. It's completely red, landslide victory. And people, especially on the Democrat side, do not know what to do. Today, I'm going to dive into a couple major things. I got my coffee right here. We're going to dive into a couple major things that you guys need to understand. We're going to talk about Donald Trump, what he did to get there. We're going to talk about the big announcements he's making for women's rights right now, which is super, super important. I keep forgetting the 3 damn letters. But at the end of the day, he's starting to get his plan in place. He's preparing to get in office. And why I'm talking about this right now, people come into the chat, why this is so damn important. People are going to start pouring in here, and I want to tell you something. This man hasn't even taken office yet, and why this comes to my mind so strong is as he gets ready to take the Oval Office and get in there, he's got to start working on his plans to start getting ready for his first days in there, what he's going to do. Already making the phone calls, obviously, over to Ukraine, Russia, Israel, with Hamas and Iran. He's doing all that right now, trying to stop that whole conversation to slow down the world right now of wars, of what's going on. But I think people were so surprised at it and they were taken back by it because all the celebrities that got out there, and literally they thought, Beyonce, Cardi B, Gorilla, Oprah, Eminem. I mean, you could go down the whole list of people. Taylor Swift, massive advocate. People were like, there's no way, shape, or form they thought that she was going to lose the election. And obviously, you saw the landslide victory. So what I'm going to go into today and talk about what Donald Trump is actually doing, I think it is so important. He is making and coming up with policies, right? I believe it's called IVF treatment or whatever it is. And people were talking about the whole abortion thing. Trump now is putting in place a plan for women, if you have health care, they want to work with the system right now to help fund that. A lot of people that want to get pregnant and can't. The IVF system where you want to go out there and get pregnant and it costs a lot of money and you want to do it. Trump is trying to instill it right now where if you're a woman out there and you're trying to have children and you cannot have children, he's trying to right now, put that in place where it's paid for through your health care. So if you have health care, they're trying to put it in place right now where if you do have that, they can put it in place where it will cover your whole situation, okay? And again, I see it in the chat right now, IVF. What I'm saying is this. A lot of people are like, well, Donald Trump, women's rights, talking about abortion, having all those conversations and saying, hey, he doesn't, want women to have rights. What I want to tell people in here right now, he's not coming to the table saying that he wants to take away women's rights. He's just saying with the whole abortion situation to leave it to the states of the people that live in that state to decide. The people of the state to get out there and make a decision, right? Like the people are voting. It isn't like the government stepping and making a decision. It's the people of that individual state could come up with what they want by the voters of that state. So all the women in that state, if they believe in XYZ or they don't believe in XYZ, they can bring that to the attention. That's number one. And this whole IVF treatment puts it in place where it says, look, if you want to have children, now we're going to help you. We're going to help fund that situation because he is pro-life. He does want that to happen. He does want that to move forward. We're going to dive into another piece of that right now. We're going to talk about Kamala Harris for 1 second. And then we're going to get into the illegal immigrant deportation, which I think is so damn important for people that are coming to the live stream right now as people start to join us. And again, we had a sensitivity error with the byte rate of the connection, which is starting to fix itself, which it will slowly do and get this message out to people knowing that we're live here in the building talking about Donald Trump, Kamala Harris live this morning. Big time conversation. People need to hear this. How did Kamala Harris fail in her campaign, right? And I brought this up and I have a lot of things to show you here in 1 second. I think the biggest problem and the biggest problem, and why I'm talking about this right now, why it's so important, is the Democrats really wanted her to be in office. Obviously, we're excited about her after she was already pushed upon them, right? Nancy Pelosi got up there and she said, if we could have had a primary, this would have been different, okay? And so people are like, well, yeah, they would have more time to prepare. If the message from Nancy Pelosi was, we could have had more time to prepare, that would be a complete different message. Because that message would easily be, hey, we need to be able to get more money, we better get more time, we better put the right people in place. That's not what the message was. That was part of the message. But when you say, hey, if we had more time, we would have had a primary, we would have had an election set up for the Democrats to decide who they wanted. If that's the actual case, she is basically saying, we may have had someone else in office. And when you lose the election and Kamala Harris is walking around obviously upset, a lot of Democrats walk around upset, what I will tell you is this. She basically said that they would have had somebody else in office. Like, more than likely, they would have had someone else in office, and Joe Biden should have stepped down earlier and gave them that opportunity to have a primary, because Joe Biden steps down and endorses Kamala Harris right away, and all the people out there, all the Democrats that had to support their side of things out there, obviously didn't get a chance to pick their actual candidate, which is the biggest problem right now. That's the biggest problem right now. They didn't even want her in there for the most part, I will say. And then the people that she had, obviously, at her rallies. Some random people at her rallies. It didn't work out. Beyonce speaking to people. I told you, Oprah, Eminem, Cardi B out there. Cardi B shows up, and Cardi B has great music, but she shows up, and this isn't her thing. She's not a political advocate. And she's reading off her phone, and you could tell, like a paid person to be somewhere. It was horrible. And then all of her social media, she was just focusing on getting back at people saying, oh, well, like basically so frustrated with the backlash she got of her speech and all that. So people that are coming here right now, I know people are trying to find the video. It was held back. They're trying to figure it out. I'm trying to search and make sure that this is actually still live on YouTube, making sure that we're rocking and rolling. I know you people are here, and we're trying to get all those people back into attendance to have this conversation. But what I'm saying is, she went wrong with that. They didn't have, and she focused, the third thing is, she focused on two things. Women's rights, and legit was just like women's rights and how we can give money to the illegal people and all that. And that didn't work out because all the Spanish people that voted in there, most of the majority of the Spanish people did not vote for Kamala Harris. That was a big problem, right? So let's move on to a piece right now I want to talk about. Trump faces a massive uphill battle, okay? Uphill battle with Democrats. He faces a massive uphill battle with Democrats because they are already starting to plot against him. As soon as he gets in office, he's going to have a lot of shit going on. So the problem you got is this. You got the government, governors out there in different places, obviously Newsom, right? Governor Newsom out there in California already starting to plot against what he wants to do. You have people out there that obviously are in other states like New Jersey. We have states like obviously Tampon Tim out there is doing the same thing, How can we stop Trump from doing X, Y, Z? They're already on the defense mode, and Donald Trump trying to get in office is on the offense mode. And the problem is, and I know this video probably YouTube is holding it back. I already know, because when we talk about this conversation, we get a lot of people in here, hundreds of people in our conversation. So I'm just checking it to make sure that this is actually being seen on our live stream. If you type in Brandon Mason Show and see, I believe that it was being held back for whatever reason. And I can see right now it's being held back for whatever reason. But what I will tell you is this, people. I will tell you is this. The governors in these different states right now are already starting the process in which they're trying to figure out how they can block him, be a roadblock mechanism to make sure Donald Trump cannot get his message out there clear to the people and make sure that nothing goes through. And that's just what they're trying to do, and I get it. But all they're doing right now in the process, if they do that, they're only hurting their own damn country. Let's be honest. Trump is going to be president. He's going to step into the office. If you want to put the division down the middle and have this 50% dividing situation and continue, it's going to cause massive issues across the world, which we're going to dive into as well. And if you're coming to the live stream right now, everybody put Trump Harris in the chat right now so YouTube will open this damn video up to some people. Obviously, it's so important to add that in there right now. Trump Harris in the chat, and make sure we can get people to start pouring in here. RB's in the building. It's going to start showing some random people because it held back the video for whatever reason. But now it's starting to pick back up in the chat right now. You're going to see it start picking back up for today's show, Monday the 11th, live talking about this, the uphill battle. Now, let's move forward on some of this conversation. And this is where I think this is important to talk about. People that are watching this right now. Should Trump deport illegal immigrants? That's a question we got for you guys in the chat right now. Should Donald Trump start the massive deportation of illegal immigrants? If you're watching this right now live, make sure you smack that like button as people start to get this now. It's starting to spread. I see YouTube is pulling it back up, finally letting it be shown on here, which is so damn important that we have it out here to be live, showing for people that are out there. When I'm looking at the situation right now, guys, the biggest conversation with deporting the illegal immigrants is how do you do it, right? How do you start the massive deportation? And why is it? I talked about this yesterday. If Kamala Harris and Joe Biden were trying to instill something in place where they wanted to stop this, because they said we had something in place and Trump didn't, want to XYZ, didn't want to move forward with it, didn't want to agree with it because there was his own benefit to help him, which would hurt the Democrats for the election. That's what they're saying, right? So if this is true, and they actually do want all the illegals to not be here, the Democrats are in agreement with that, which they said they had a plan in place, then why on earth would they try to stop the deportation? Right now, I'm going to pull up the video. I want you guys to see, and actually, I will go on and make sure that you can hear it. Make sure you guys can hear the sound as well. But take a look at this video, guys. If you're just joining the live stream right now, I know that we had some issues here with the connection here, but I want to show you guys something for a second. Take a look at this.
Tonight, hundreds of miles south of the border in Mexico, a caravan of migrants chanting, "We are not criminals," is rushing to make it to the U.S.-Mexico border before the Trump administration is sworn in. Many carrying their belongings in plastic bags and on their backs, and already starting to voice their fears about not being able to cross into the United States come January. "I think it will be much more complicated now," says this man who's traveling from Venezuela. "Now we are thinking about finding a way to get through before Trump takes the presidency." DHS officials telling NBC News that they have not yet seen a surge in migrants heading to the United States, but that they want CBP and ICE officials to be prepared.
One of the first calls I'm going to make is to Mexico. You stop letting people come in through our border.
Trump now vowing to deport millions of undocumented migrants, saying his plan has, quote, "no price tag." He's also threatening to impose a tariff of 25% on Mexican imports unless Mexico's government curbs what he describes as an onslaught of immigration. Those promises now creating uncertainty and anxiety among migrants making the taxing journey. This caravan, which set off with nearly 3,000 people on Election Day, has dwindled to just about half of its original size, according to Reuters. This man from Venezuela saying now that Trump has won, he doesn't know what to do, but returning to Venezuela for him is like being shot in the head.
So look, here's the problem. All these people that are trying to cross the border right now, they want to get their ass in here before Trump gets in office. If Trump gets in office, they're not coming anymore. Like, that's the reality, or it's going to massively slow down, right? So these illegal immigrants are trying to pour in left and right, and the border is getting outrageous. There's a massive rush for all these people, whether they're from Mexico, Venezuela, from wherever they're from, all over the world. It doesn't have to be one of those states or countries. I'm just giving it to you because those were named, obviously, in this video. But these people right now has a massive movement right now to get into the U.S. If you're watching this right now, again, put Trump Harris in the chat. This is so damn important. People, and again, YouTube didn't want to show this at first because we're showing this on the internet. I know they didn't want to show this and they held back the video, and that's okay. I want to bring this to your attention because I'm not going to hold it back and bullshit anybody on here. This is reality of what's happening, and this is more of this video with the massive movement of illegal immigrants trying to pour into this damn country, and you can see it right now, and I'm showing you guys. I know YouTube's not going to show it, but I'm going to show you guys. Take a look at this again.
Migrants in Mexican border cities waiting for legal entry through the CBP-1 program now also worried their plans might be upended. Some, like this woman, are anxious that the appointments they've waited months for under the CBP-1 program could be canceled. On Friday, Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum saying she had a, quote, very friendly phone call with Trump in which they congratulated each other's presidential wins and said there will be time in the future to discuss the border issue. Time that many migrants now fear is running out for them.
Okay, Ellison Barber joins us now in studio. So, Ellison, going back to that CBP-1 app that you mentioned, is this
So I want to show that to you because a lot of people in here right now that are coming on YouTube, again, is holding back the video, and people that are getting the message on here will start popping in. What's bothersome, and I agree, people in here right now are like, how the hell can you do that, right? I understand a lot of people would say, well, if you help deport these people, where do they go? And also, are these illegal immigrants that are good people? Are they dangerous people? The problem is we don't know what kind of people they are. Like, that's the reality. They're pouring into the country, and this was one of the biggest downfalls of Kamala Harris and Joe Biden and the whole administration running for president, the Democrats. They were completely okay with this. I don't understand. Look, for the life of me, when I watch that video, I don't understand for the life of me how anybody in the right mind could look at the massive amount of people pouring into the country, and if you're living in the U.S., you're like, oh, this is cool. It's not cool. It's just not cool. And Trump spoke about this a lot and had these questions and these accusations that came out about him being a bad person. Trump is only trying to get the damn people out of here that came in illegally. And listen to this. There's a lot of people that came into this country legally that are Spanish that agree with this. Most of them. That's why you saw the polls come in. Everybody voting for Trump. We're like, look, we don't agree with this. We don't agree with the massive deportation of people. And when I show the crowd of people, I'm going to just show you this crowd one more time, just so you get the idea of the massive amount of people. Like, look at this crowd one more time.
Tonight, hundreds of miles south of the border in Mexico, a caravan of migrants chanting, "We are not criminals," is rushing to make it to the U.S.-Mexico border before the Trump administration is sworn in. Many carrying their belongings in plastic bags and on their backs, and already starting to...
Why would another country showing up with signs saying, we are not criminals, we're getting almost like they're running our nation? Like, that's the shit I'm talking about. How does someone from Venezuela or someone from Mexico or someone from another country show up with these massive bands and ribbons and whatever, walking into the country and being like, we are not criminals, like this massive movement of BS and all this stuff going on? It's so confusing to me how they can actually do that. And then the U.S. is like, well, yeah, they're correct, and let them just pour into the country. I find that very difficult to understand how their opinion matters more than our opinion. And if you look at the country, it was all red for a reason. Our entire nation was completely red from literally, not even from east, literally from west to east, east-west, whatever you want to call it, with the exception of Washington, Oregon, California, that little piece there. And then you just pour across the country, all the way across until you get basically up to what? The northeast. And yeah, we had Colorado, New Mexico, right? But the whole country was red. And you get up to the top of there and you get obviously from Maine coming down to Vermont and, you know, New York, up Rhode Island and those kind of states up there. Yeah, I get that little top piece of the pie there. But look at who voted for Trump, because all these reasons are standing in front of the people. Like, everybody's looking at this going, obviously, no one here in America wants massive amounts of illegal immigrants coming in here. No one in America wants this opportunity to compete with all these people for jobs. This is way too many people. Healthcare, like, that's a massive concern. And then on top of that, we don't even know who they are. Why do you think Kamala Harris and Joe Biden's campaign would make sense? The only reason that it would make sense that she would actually think that's good is because she thinks she's pouring them all in here to get votes. Like, that would be the only reason why that would actually happen. No one would actually agree in the U.S. that makes sense. And I know Kamala Harris cannot. She has to be a smart woman. She's been working in the judicial system for a long time, whether she makes good decisions or bad decisions. She's been there for a long time. What I'm saying is, how on earth does Kamala Harris look at that and go, yeah, that's cool, with that massive amount of people poured into the country?
Fears about not being able to cross into the United States come January. I think it will be much more complicated now, says this man who's traveling from Venezuela. Now we are thinking about finding a way to get through before Trump takes the presidency.
Come on now. They're trying to find ways to pour into our country before Trump gets in there. Why would the border allow that shit right now? Why would Kamala Harris, and I know YouTube is not going to show this damn video all over the place. I've come to the understanding that they just don't do that, and they're not going to show this video everywhere. You literally have to go search and find the video that I'm putting up there for people to actually know that we're talking about this, because they block it for whatever reason. But what I'm saying is, when I'm looking at this whole situation right now, talking about this with the illegal immigrants pouring across the country, something is just not right. It is very simple to see, easy for me to understand. I know a lot of people coming into the live stream. If you voted for Kamala Harris, or you wanted Kamala Harris to win, you actually voted for that. Like, that's the weird part. Like, you voted for all those people to pour across the country, which is why I'm so confused. And people that are coming to the live stream right now, greatly appreciate you. As you know, coming into the building right now, they are not, YouTube for whatever reason is not showing this video all over like they probably should, because a huge announcement. If you just came into the building right now, in the chat, put Trump or Harris. Trump came up with the IVF situation for women, where he is going to help if they have health care. The women will be funded if they have trouble having kids, they have an issue with pregnancy, the IVF treatment to help them have kids. He wants, obviously, for women's rights and help for them to be able to produce children. He wants to make sure that health care, if they have health care, it will pay for them to get that treatment, number one. And number two, he starts his movement of deporting the illegal immigrants. If you're just coming to the chat right now, we greatly appreciate you. Put Trump Harris. Here we go, coming into the building now. More people are starting to see the video. I'm seeing that YouTube is starting to share it a little bit more. I'm not freaking sure why YouTube held this video back. I'm very confused by that. But now that it is starting to share around, everybody coming into the chat right now, hit the damn like button in the chat. Put Trump Harris, P. Billy, Gina, Brandon in the chat right now, Roger, Brittany, we appreciate all the people coming into the live stream. There is going to be a lot of people here tonight hanging out for conversation. But I wanted to get this message out there. This shit is so important. And before I move past the illegal immigrant conversation, before I get past that, I just want to rewind that little clip right there that just shows the initial conversation right there of the initial piece of the pie, where they're actually pouring in with hundreds of people, and it says hundreds of them in line, and it equates to millions of people obviously pouring into the country. But what I want to do is show that little clip one more time, where just the people are. Guys, watching this, look at the amount of freaking people this is.
Tonight, hundreds of miles south of the border in Mexico, a caravan of migrants chanting, "We are not criminals." is rushing to make it to the U.S.-Mexico border.
I mean, come on now. They're rushing to get to the border. They're rushing to pour into our country. And what is our country doing at the border? Like literally, I'm asking people right now in the chat, what do you think our country's doing at the border right now? Standing there like, yeah, just come on in the goddamn country. Like, this is impossible for our nation to allow hundreds and hundreds to thousands and thousands to millions and millions of illegal people pouring into the damn country on a daily basis. It's flooded down there. And now that they know Trump's going to get in office, which he's won the election by a landslide, they know this is the time. But let me tell you something. It's probably not the time, because when you get here, Trump is going to start deporting you. And I know you don't want to be in those countries where you're from. I know you don't want to be in Mexico, or you don't want to be in Venezuela, or you don't want to be in Cuba. Whatever the case may be, you don't want to be there. I get that. I truly understand that. But at the end of the day, America is founded in a different way. Yeah, we have a lot of people from international places. But let me tell you something. We had in the chat last night, we had one woman in the chat last night was like, look, my mom got a ticket, like a parking ticket. They took her to court. She lost her license. All this shit over a parking ticket. We have illegal immigrants coming into the country, people that are robbing people, raping people, stealing, whatever the hell they're doing, dangerous people pouring in, and they're getting cell phones, they're getting places to live, they're getting money, they're getting health care, they're getting jobs, literally setting up compounds for these people, and we have our own people out there just suffering. California, Newsom, the government out there, the governor's like, yeah, we're going to block Trump. Dude, you're in California. Your state could be so amazing. We had a live caller in last night from California. We had a live caller that called in and was talking about California. He was like 90% Trump supporter. He voted for Harris, but said when he was talking about it, he basically was saying everything that we're saying on the Trump side. I'm like, bro, there's no way that you voted for Kamala Harris and all the things that you're saying right now. And he was, well, I'm in California. I said, also, they're pouring into your country. You have so many bums and homeless people. On top of that, your interest rate is crazy. Your gas prices are out of control. Yeah, you can't afford anything. Your taxes are crazy. And he was like, yeah, you're right. And then also, they have this law out there basically where people in California can steal up to X amount of money before they get arrested. Like, you can just steal X amount of shit in California and you don't even get arrested. It's like, well, that's only $100. So, we can't really arrest them. So it's up to the store owner to do what they got to do to stop it. What do you think they're going to do? If you got a store, a storefront, a building, an office, anything you got going on, and you got people coming in stealing your shit, what are you going to do? Like, you're going to just let them just keep on grabbing your shit? They're taking carts, shopping carts of shit in California in stores, filling it with shit. Imagine the grocery store, filling all kind of shit, and you're the store owner, and they're just taking your shit. And you're looking at the government, you're looking at the state, you're looking at the police, you're going, what's going on here? And they have it set up at a mandate where they can't arrest them unless it hits a certain amount of money. You don't even know how much they're stealing because they're leaving with shopping carts full of shit. Like, I'm just saying, a lot of this stuff's getting really confusing for me, and you wonder why the whole damn country's red. I'm going to give you another reason why. You know what I'm saying? And then it's this. Donald Trump has a unique personality. And people that are coming in here right now, and I know YouTube was not showing this video, and I'll tell people right now, if you're coming into the chat right now, hit the like button and subscribe. I know people that have been watching our live streams on a daily basis at nighttime love hanging out with us. Last night, we had a lot of people in the live stream at 9 o'clock having conversation. What I want to tell you is this. Donald Trump has a very unique personality. And you're not going to find many people like this. You're not going to find many people that are going to get up there, get shot on stage, and instead of laying on the ground, crawling around, scrambling, scared like any normal person, to be honest with you, 99% of the world, 99.9% of the world would do, and I think that makes fucking perfect sense why you would. Donald Trump is standing up saying, fight, fight, fight. To have someone like that, I'm going to explain his personality to people right now that are watching the live stream. I'm going to explain his personality. Now, YouTube did not show this video to start, and now they're starting to share it a little bit. So if you're coming into the chat right now, everybody hit the damn like button right now. If you're coming into the chat right now, we're talking about Donald Trump, what he's doing right now, the plan for deportation and all that. But what I want to say is this. If you're watching Trump, right, and you're one of those people that just said, I don't like his personality, or you're one of those people that said, oh, he's a loudmouth, or if you're one of those people that said, well, he was on YouTube saying this or that, or if you're one of those people that was just against the way that you see him reacting to people. I want to break this down for you so you understand. To be a winner at anything in life, it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's sports, whether it's becoming the president, whether it's running, any type of organization. I don't care if you're in the government. I don't care what you do. I don't care if you're a real estate agent. I don't care what it is that you do. You got to have more of a powerful personality to run the show, right? It's not like you can be out there and sit in the background and just be like, yada, yada, yada. No, you got to actually get out there and do what you got to do for the country right now, what he's trying to do, and stand up against the media. Stand up against people trying to impeach him as soon as he got in office last time. Standing up against people trying to indict, put him in jail, indict him for things, you did that. Like, constantly fighting against your own concerns, your personal concerns. And then you also have your personal life with your family and your kids and your wife and all that. And then you're trying to run a country, the best country in the world, which is extremely difficult for anybody. That position does not get paid enough money to run. Donald Trump doesn't even take the money that he's supposed to be given to be the president of the country. And he's one of those people that came in with money, and he's not one of those people like Hillary Clinton, Nancy Pelosi, and I'm not going to say, let's forget Nancy Pelosi. Let's talk about Hillary Clinton. Let's talk about Obama. Let's talk about Kamala Harris, because they're going to come in the office and, quote unquote, they didn't have much money or didn't have as much money as other people. And they're leaving out of this worth what, 50 million, 100 million. They're going to leave this place, there and write books and show up and do speaking arrangements and be worth so much money. Meanwhile, Donald Trump has a unique personality where he's battling the media, battling anybody that gets in the way because it's Donald Trump versus the world. And guess what? That personality, that toughness, you're the quarterback of your football team. You can't sit back and just be like, okay, yeah, no, you got to get in people's faces and say, look, get your ass in gear. Let's get this done. You think everybody loves the quarterback every time they get in your face? You think they love Patrick Mahomes when they're in their face at practice saying, catch a damn football? You think they love Tom Brady when he's in your face going, run the right routes? You think you know what I'm saying? Like, you need that personality, that mental toughness, the ability when someone's putting you down to step up and do what you believe in. And I think the problem is people don't understand that, and the Democrat side cannot respect what you're seeing right here. A man that stands up against all odds, a man that is going to stand up and fight for our ability to be successful, a man that is going to do what he's got to do to make it work. And I want people to understand, without having that personality, it is extremely difficult and you won't win, right? And that is why you think Hillary Clinton is just going to sit there quiet. Hillary Clinton is a feisty individual, a very feisty individual. That is how she had a lot of success, being very feisty and getting out there. Kamala Harris, another person that's very feisty. And I've had tons of videos out here of things that has been going on and things that we have shown on here. I mean, literally putting a lot of people in prison, putting parents in jail for truancy, for kids not going to school. Meanwhile, Trump's like, hey, I'm going to help fund homeschool. I'm going to help fund these things. And these are the things people aren't talking about. And today we're not diving into, obviously, a lot of things that are in the classroom and diving into what these kids are being taught at school. But at the end of the day, America needs to come together or lose World War III. That's what this conversation is right now, guys. If you're watching this live right now in the building, I appreciate all you guys watching this. I know YouTube held back this video for whatever the hell reason. I have no idea. They held the video back and didn't want to show it out to the general population. And I'm hoping that America does start to see this video on YouTube as they show it. If you're watching this right now, double tap the live stream right now, or just hit the live stream, hit the like button right now, thumbs up button. America needs to come together or we will lose World War III. Do you understand right now that Russia, and China, Iran are working together on a lot of things? Yeah, I know. They're allies. I know that they're allies. I get that. And they've been allies for a long time. But do you realize that military is training together? Do you realize that Iran now is being supplied from Russia and China with the opportunity to grow and expand, and now they have nuclear opportunities to develop? Do you think Iran needs nuclear missiles? Like, let's be honest right now. Do you think people like Iran or people like Hamas, do you think they need nuclear missiles? I mean, think about that. Let that sink in for a second. Under Joe Biden's leadership and under Kamala Harris's leadership working together, they have not only shown that we're weak at that time, and in the chat right now, if you're watching, put Trump or Harris in the chat, getting the movement going across YouTube. They have not only done that to make us look weak, they have sat back and watched all this stuff happening. And if people are like, yeah, but they wanted Kamala Harris to win. Yeah, no shit. They want Kamala Harris to win for the reason, obviously, because they want Kamala Harris to be the weaker individual to get in office where they can just run the show and do whatever the hell they want. That's the reality. They wanted Kamala Harris to win this election so they can get in and do whatever the hell they actually wanted to do. Because under this leadership here that we have, two individuals that the world saw together as being weak. And more importantly, honestly, Joe Biden, they thought he was just weak and he couldn't speak at all. Like he shows up at a press conference or at a rally or at a debate with Trump, which was horrible. He shows up to speak to the country in certain instances and people are like, what is he saying? Like, this is the kind of thing I'm talking about where people are just like, this man just showed America at one point that we were just too weak. And now that Trump's in office, within 48 hours, he's talked to Ukraine, he's talked to Russia, he's talking to, obviously, Israel. They called up and said, hey, look, we're trying to end this shit right now. Like Hamas, they don't want no parts of Trump in office, I can tell you right now. He's going to start putting tariffs on things. Yeah, that could make things a little bit more expensive at first for us here. Why? To bring everything back to America. Like, that's the reality. That's the reality. Things could get a little bit more expensive for a minute. They're already up anyway, so what the hell's the difference? We look at everything, our grocery, our taxes, our interest rate, our military. If we don't start picking up our military right now and getting all those people that want to join the military, we're going to have a lot of problems. Around the nation right now, our military should be stronger and better than ever. We've been supplying so much shit and so much aid to Ukraine, keeping them at bay and keeping Russia to slow them down a little bit. If Trump was in office, the war would be over right now. This shit wouldn't be going on. They would have never attacked Ukraine. That's the reality. If Trump was in office, they would have never attacked Ukraine, and we wouldn't be sitting here worried about China trying to take over Taiwan, because that's the next situation. And if China tries to take over Taiwan, then America is going to have a lot of issues right now, because then we got to step up in a big way. Our allies got to come together. Europe right now is weaker than ever. Europe is weaker than ever. You go to London, you go to Germany, they got their own problems going on. The Jews, they're attacking the Jews. There's so many issues going on in the world right now. We need someone like Donald Trump. And that's why I told you and showed you his unique personality. And when you have these two candidates out there, Kamala Harris about freedom and, freedom. What kind of freedom do we have under that leadership where people are scared? People don't have money. People can't afford to do half the shit they want to do in the world, right? And I'm telling you right now, this live stream right now, if YouTube showed this would be live for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people right now, like we always do. But YouTube suppressed the video and didn't let it be seen by a lot of people for whatever reason. I'm looking into it for whatever reason. They didn't get the shit out there and didn't let it get rocking across people's desks when they came into the building right now. And if you're just joining us in the live stream, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe, because we're letting people join this live stream as we're talking about Donald Trump getting ready to take office and how obviously how the Democrats are trying to block him from doing everything that he wants to do. But as you know, if he takes over the House and the Senate and he has all the right people in place, he's firing people. And you see this woman out there, Tisha, whatever her name is, who is the main person out there in New York, right? Out there. And they told her, that one of the guys got up there and said, we'll put your ass in jail, right? For whatever, weaponism or whatever the case may be, weaponize against Trump, what he's trying to do, and against his leadership. He hasn't even taken the office yet. And the Democrats are trying to find ways to what? What do they want to do now? Impeach him again? You want to try to do that? You want to try to put him in jail? They did that. Trump now has offered to pay. Trump has already offered to pay for Kamala Harris and the Democrats' debt because they basically are not paying. They're not paying the vendors or the celebrities or whatever it is, allegedly, whatever, or the combination of the two. They're not paying the vendors, not paying the celebrities. That was the conversation. If, in fact, they're not, that just shows how they handle the economy already financially, not even paying those people, which I will tell you this, if they don't pay those people, and I'm not saying who they paid or didn't pay. I heard Cardi B got a hefty amount of money. Oprah, obviously, she's not doing that shit for free. All these people, Taylor Swift, if you can't win with all these people, the country did not want you then, obviously. And what did Donald Trump do? Donald Trump was out there with Elon Musk, Joe Rogan. And when I say that, because he's playing chess, not checkers, he got people in place that are unique like him. Like, the reality is, he got people that are unique. Elon Musk is extremely unique. And for a lot of reasons, people are like, man, this guy's a brainiac. Or if he's not a brainiac, the people around him that he puts in place are brainiacs. And what do we need? We need those people. We need those people in our businesses. We need those people to help with our military, to set up strategic opportunities. We need this stuff, right? People in the live stream right now, the like button and subscribe. You're just joining us right now. I know YouTube, again, suppressed this video, did not show this to everyone like we always do. Have hundreds and hundreds of people in our morning show having this conversation. And I know that they didn't show it for whatever reason, because I'm saying Trump's making an announcement, or he's saying some important conversation, or this is what we need to hear. And I know that this happens frequently, and that's okay. But what I'm going to say is this before we sign off today, and every day we're live, every day from 10 to 11 in the morning, and then we have our live show at night. What I want to say is this. When you have a unique person like Trump in office, right, and he gets to the point where obviously he is starting to look at the uphill battles he has with the Democrats, and then he starts looking at the massive amount of deportation he has to do. People obviously are going to be conflicted here. And I'll end you guys with this conversation today a little early is, obviously, no one has the right answer for how to deport a bunch of people that are starting to make their mark in America. Young children, right? There's some great young people that are showing up here with parents that are here. And I believe the message, which we'll talk about later tonight on the live stream, I believe the message is loud and clear that I believe he said, if you graduate from a university, you get a green card to be here. I believe that's true. I will go back and double check that. If that's not correct, I will fact check that myself. But I believe what he said is, if you graduate from a university, right, especially here, you get a green card. If you graduate from a university in America. If that's correct, I think that's an awesome thing. I think that's one hell of an opportunity for people right now that are watching this right now. I'm sure you guys agree. If you graduate from a university in America, you've been here for 4 years, you go through the whole situation, we know who you are, you have an ID, you have a driver's license, you're attending classes, you're getting grades, you're doing XYZ. This is a massive opportunity, a massive movement for all the people that want, if you're an illegal person, you want to be in America, come over here legally and get it done right. You got an awesome opportunity. I think that's a super idea. And we're going to talk about that live tonight at 9 o'clock when we're live on the show. I know a lot of people here that come into the building in the morning and watch our show understand that we have live guests coming on at night every day now. 9 o'clock, we call random people in. We're going to start having that set up here. We have bare knuckle fighters coming on this week. We have live guests coming on, bare knuckle fighters, so make sure you tune in. They're going to be coming in talking about BKFC, UFC, the difference of it. They're going to show live cuts, stitches on here, crazy things we're going to talk about on this live stream. We're going to do some sit-downs. But at the end of the day, I think the border control is what killed Kamala Harris's future as a president. Killed that. The shit that they're teaching in schools that she believes in. Obviously, also giving money to prisoners for sex changes, using our tax money. I believe that crushed her. And I also believe that our economy right now, that she's in there with Joe Biden for the last 4 years, and she said, hey, when I get in there, I'm going to do this. You're in there right now. Like, that's the biggest way to put it. Your ass is in there right now. You're not doing anything. You're not getting anything done. And when I ask Democrats, what has she done? Go back and watch our videos at nighttime, guys. They don't say shit. She hasn't done anything. So when we're live tonight at 9 o'clock, we have our live callers in here, and I will show you the setup so you guys can see right now. We just got this underway. Obviously, this is a photo that you will see of Joe Biden and Donald Trump. It will not look like this, but I want you guys to see the look. It will look similar to this. When people call in, you're going to have my picture up here, my live video down below. We're going to have someone right there in that box talking live, having conversation. And then we even have the split view of conversation as well, which we will be having live on the show with me and a special guest live here in the mornings. So make sure, if you're a subscriber of this show, make sure you hit the like button right now. And remember, talk to somebody that you know, share this, let them know what we're talking about on a daily basis, because we're going to dive into all the updates. Yeah, we're going to have sports on here, NFL, the playoffs, college football, NBA. We're going to hit all that. But we had to take some time to focus on what's more important, and that's our safety in this country. That's our freedom. That's where the U.S. is going. Without all that being understood and being corrected, our future sucks, right? Our kids' futures will suck. So that's why I took all the time to do this on a daily basis and have this conversation for people that are hanging out with me in here every day. I greatly appreciate you. Tonight, we will jump on here live on the show at 9 o'clock. We will obviously be bringing in a group of individuals tonight on the show. The live game, obviously, there's a Monday Night Football game that'll be on tonight, so some people will be jumping back and forth from that. But just because Monday Night Football is on, I'm not going to forget to come on here and address some of these conversations that I think are going to be important. And we have some guests that are going to be coming on here that are going to be joining in. And we're going to be calling in Democrats to explain your side. We're going to talk about woke America tonight. All those conversations, what that means, what they're teaching our kids in school. Is that important? Should they have a rainbow flag in there? Should they have a BL movement, that going on? I just feel that there's a lot of things going on in this world that are more important to talk about than sports, even though I absolutely love sports, and we will be doing that. But right now, as we get ready to sign off, everybody hit that like button right now. And when I sign off for today's show, everybody just refresh the screen. After I sign off, you're going to see the damn logo across the screen. I appreciate you guys. Let that show up on the screen. Give about 15 seconds. Hit the refresh on there and leave a message on the video. Put Trump or Harris. I want to see what you guys think. We're going to go back. We're going to make sure that YouTube will open up the conversation and show more of these videos to people and make sure we continue to work with them. As you know, they suppress some of that. I just dropped the polls in the chat just now so you guys can see what was selected on there, what you guys believe in. Should they deport people? And it says right there, 85% of people said that Trump should deport the illegal immigrants coming in. So everyone that's in the building right now, we greatly appreciate you. When I sign off, you're going to see the logo. Everyone that's in the chat right now, Gina, Brittany that came in here, Man Bear, we appreciate you. Barbara, we appreciate you. RB, we appreciate you. Everyone that's in the chat right now, Nathan, Jeff Lee that came in the building, a lot of people right now were not messaged for this live stream for whatever reason. YouTube did not pull it up and get it out there for whatever reason. They held back. I don't know why. I think it was a thumbnail saying Trump has an announcement, yada, yada, yada. I believe that's why, but we will find out. I will see you guys tonight at 9 o'clock in the live stream. We will be here having a personal conversation in the live stream with you guys to be talking with live guests as we sign off today. Remember, guys, enjoy the rest of your day. It's only Monday. Be safe, be easy. And when I sign off, remember, refresh the video in 15 seconds and leave a message on the video. All love to you guys. See you guys obviously tonight at 9 o'clock and tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. See you soon.
Seeing the patients frequently, you build up a relationship.
I love that, yeah.
Chen Senior Medical Center. Call today for a tour.
Wow. With the help of Jackson and the entire bariatric team, I was able to lose 222 pounds. Going to Jackson gave me a lot of peace of mind. You're in the hands of the best surgeons. You're in the hands of one of the largest medical institutions. The support group,